Hi everybody, I'm Bill Smith. Many of you have probably seen my higher level Smokey Zuka or Smokey Hookah replays on Reddit, but it just so happens that I started an alt account, junior level alt account a few months ago. Recently I got to HQ 14, and part of the reason I started this account was so that I could learn hookahs from the very beginning and, also try out playing Smokey Zukas and Smokey Hookahs at a relatively low level. So this is obviously not my first vid, but this is actually the first vid I have where I'm talking, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. Anyway, my statue setup is a piece of crap troop damage masterpiece, a pretty decent troop health masterpiece. I have a max GB Guardian and a decent GB masterpiece. And it so happens that I just got smoke. So let me walk you through some of my recent Smokey Zuka attacks. Here's one a few days ago on Commodore. Okay, pausing. This is Commodore. My high-level account will usually clear the beach, will usually clear some of the rocket and shot launchers behind that row of machine guns, and then we'll smoke troops right along the side. This account I'm playing in Reddit Boot Camp, most of the players aren't able to get all the way to the back to kill the core. So we sometimes do rely on our higher level players for this. My higher level account is in a different task force entirely, so I'm not here. But I figured one thing I could do was to help clear the beach, and to do that, I was targeting the shot launcher right there and the rocket launcher to the 4 o'clock of that launcher. You see the row of mortars behind the launchers. I chose my destination spot so that I'd be out of range of the mortars and I'd be inside the blind spot of the rightmost rocket launcher. This is how it went. So planted my landing flags and immediately smoked because otherwise the Zukas would be in range of the machine guns. So that's my destination. My smoke timer is, I've got 9 seconds. I think this is level 2 smoke, so 9 seconds. And my flare is, I think, level 3, which is 15 seconds. Okay, so there we go. As you all know, all your Zukas fit very nicely under one smoke on open ground with plenty of room to spare. Now, it turns out I need not have flared the shot launcher, so wasted a little bit of gunboat energy there. Reason being, when you get to your destination, the Zukas will see what's in range, and if there's nothing damaged, they'll go for the highest hit point defense first. That was the shot launcher. No big deal. My shocks, 2 shocks, covered everything in range. There we go, 3 volleys, took the shot launcher down. And yes, I needn't have flared the rocket launcher. And, well, everyone died shortly after this, but mission accomplished. That's entry-level Smokey Zuka attack. For that attack, I had not placed my GB masterpiece yet, but you can see 5 smokes, 2 shocks. You're limited to a much shorter range with a mid-level account. Next attack I want to show was Powder Keg on Key. This was a pretty decent one. So you can see now under my stats, I had dropped Truth Health statue that I had, Truth Health Guardian, and I planted that pretty nice GB masterpiece. So this is Key. I was going for the front three rocket launchers and hoping I could clear the 3 of them, and that would enable a warrior to take out the last one. And then once we'd done that, this base would be a pretty decent base for all the lower level players to load up Zukas, Rifle Zuka, Heavy Zuka, whatever, and go left and clear stuff. for this one, on this base, those 3 rocket launchers were in range of the beach. So, hence, well, sorry, they were kind of just barely in range of the beach. So you can see I did my flare landing. I put the flare at the very bottom of of the play zone, of the allowable play zone. So then I flare to destination and I immediately smoked. Okay. Yeah, one thing to note is with Zookas of this level, you cannot take a mine hit. The mines are all level 20. They will kill you dead. So you just have to operate under that assumption. Oh, so I was a little bit late there. I'm still getting used to the timer because I'm still kind of operating with the timers for max smoke. And, well, this was pretty good. Yeah, this was a pretty good attack. That rocket launcher, I got it down to within an inch of its life. It was like 1,500 hit points. So that was a pretty good deal. I think the next attack here was someone loaded hookahs and just bombed that thing down and ripped the left side open. So yeah, that was pretty good. The next Smokey Zuka attack I did was actually the same setup, but this time I didn't do so well. I was kind of thrown off by the mortars in the back row that were in range of my firing position. So I'm just gonna run through this quickly, speed it up. 5 smokes, flare the launcher, 1 shock. So the annoying thing about max mortars is that you can't see when they turn to shoot at you, but it did turn out that they were in range of my firing position, so all I was able to get was the rocket launcher. Perhaps I should have gone and just let my Zookas attack the flamethrowers, but, lesson learned. And my most recent Smokey Zuka attack I'd like to show is this one on Powder Keg Region. Oh boy, this was a good one. Okay, see that see those 3 rocket launchers and that battery down there? That's what I was going for. Overall plan here was basically open up the left side, kill all the launchers, and then let infantry take over. So for a max account with 8 landing craft, you usually will want to put down 3 smokes to cover everybody. You can do it in 2 smokes if you're very good. I still don't have the spacing right. Not quite right, so I don't get it 100% all the time. But definitely at 6 or 7 landing crafts, 2 smokes is all you need. They don't have to be spaced perfectly. There you go. Okay, so remember the landing flags act like flares, so you can save a flare. There we go, flared right to the center of that rocket launcher battery. You can see my last smoke is just a bit offset from the flare. For a max account, that would probably not have been safe, but I figured that with only 49 Zookas in play, they would stay under the smoke, and indeed they did. Didn't use flares here, I just shocked the launchers in range and let them do their thing. Yeah, mission accomplished, and of course everybody dies, but whatever. So yeah, that's some mid-level Smokey Zuka play. I guess you can, so if you want, you can play Smokey Zukas almost as soon as you get smoke, basically. Just make sure you have at least a GBE Masterpiece, I would say. You're going to be limited to something like a 5 smoke range, which is pretty okay for opposite this level. Next, I want to show you some Smokey Hookah replays. Scorpion and hard shells. Oh boy, this guy. So this guy was, I think, an HQ-16. He's got 2 rocket launchers, you'll see. So So I'm pretty sure HQ16. He had, I think, 2 ice guardians. This guy funded most of my HQ15 upgrade. Thanks. So, damage masterpiece. And a health guardian behind the tree over there. So yeah, this guy is clearly turtling. That's a perfectly valid strategy. His setup would stop most players at my level, but you know, I'm a pretty experienced player, and I did go 100% all-out offense with this thing. So what I'm doing here is that I'm flaring my troops right to there. Okay, and I'm clearing with GBE anything that's in any splash damage defense that's within range of them. That would be just that top MG, and I figured I could kill the boom cannon alongside it. So that was 1 barrage and 2 artillery shots. Okay, there we go. So landing my troops, letting them take these 2 economy buildings, both to A, recover some GBE, and B, to help them group up. So you can see my start smoke. My Zukas took a mine hit that could have been bad. Bit of a mistake there. So I'm forced to be a bit late on my smokes, and the heavies take hits, but that's inevitable because of the length of the smoke timer. So it's fitting nicely under 1 smoke. Regroup flares, shot the headquarters, and go to work. So with mid-level Smoky Hookah play, you do have to be more careful of the senses, relevant, but you have fewer Zukas in play, so each Zuka you lose reduces your firepower by proportionately much more. Nonetheless, I had more than enough firepower to take this guy down. Thanks, buddy, for funding my upgrades. So, casualties, 2 heavies, 10 Zukas. You can see I took a bit of MG fire from the rear. Yep, my bad. Anyway, next guy was this guy. This guy was HQ15 with, I think, just 1 Ice Guardian. My goal here was clear that mortar and then smoke to about here, inside the blind spot of that rocket launcher. So that launcher is totally out of play. Corner bases are very, very vulnerable to Smoky Hookahs. Oh, so, right, clearing a bit more splash damage. So you can see all my heavies cleared the mines just nicely. Okay, recover some GB and group up, and then flare my destination and go under smoke. See that little gap right there? That could have been bad, but I turned out to be okay. Yeah, you can see my troops aren't quite making it. They're not quite keeping up with the smoke, so I definitely do want to upgrade the smoke. But again, at this level, bases don't have a lot of hit points. Wow, I had only 1 cannon in range of my troops. I was able to shock this big cluster of stuff. 1 shot, so within 2 shocks, 16 seconds, his headquarters goes down. So yeah, that's some mid-level Smoky Hookah play if you're interested. And indeed, mid-level accounts can use Smoky Zukas pretty early on if they want. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful.